Welcome to the BLC podcast, a ministry of Bethlehem Lutheran Church, St. Cloud, Minnesota, ELCA. On this episode of the podcast, Chad and I will dive into the topic that is changing the way the world works. For better or worse, the technology behind it is here to stay. We're talking about AI, or artificial intelligence, and how it fits or doesn't fit into the life of a faith community. So, will robots take over the church, or can it become a useful tool? Hear how Pastor Chad and I have already used the technology in our roles at Bethlehem, and also hear how AI works in real time as we play around with it a little bit and try to come up with a fun youth group game involving a chicken and a small basketball. Thanks for listening to this episode of the BLC Podcast. The Lord be with you. Well, welcome back to the BLC Podcast here. We are live in the BLC recording studio, aka my office, hanging out here with Pastor Chad and myself. We've got a brand new topic for, would you call this a new season? I don't know.
I think so. We're in a new season. It's going to be, our September 2025. We're going to go into 2026. So yes, a new season for our podcast here.
New season for our podcast. Kind of took the summer off, did some fun stuff with the kiddos and the youth group, and hopefully got some good vacation time in. But Chad's got a great topic lined up for us tonight. We're diving right off the deep end into a topic here that is actually kind of at the forefront of a lot of conversations going on, especially I see them a lot in social media. I follow a lot of like artists on Instagram and comic book artists and stuff like that. So they're all into this topic as well about how it relates to them and their job and what they do. But Chad, why don't you introduce the topic for us and set it up for us?
Yeah. Well, here we go. Here's the first question, Matt.
Oh, okay.
They're coming for you.
Oh, no.
It's coming for you.
Is this like the Terminator?
It is, actually.
Coming for me.
AI is coming for you.
Powered up
Your
and
job,
ready to serve.
everything.
Skynet.
You should be afraid.
Skynet.
Yeah.
Went online.
Good franchise. If anybody has seen the original Terminator, oh yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah. Well, of course, yeah. That's where this whole conversation, you could say, began.
It did, and
in a larger context, like they're going to take over. The machines are going to take over.
Back when sci-fi, was just sci-fi, and now it's actually becoming a little bit more reality. But yeah, I did.
Now it's here.
It is, and I really kind of wanted to have this conversation around AI, because that's kind of the general term that we use, but it is, the conversation is all over the place. Matt, you were talking about, you hear this being brought up with content creators,
creators and artists.
Right. I hear it being brought up a lot within the educational world, like with teachers and how do students learn now if AI can write their papers for them?
Yeah, how does that work? Because you can kind of tell right now, the video stuff, you can tell that's AI. The hand has 6 fingers kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
it's getting better. It's getting harder to tell, but
right.
How do teachers know?
And that's
if a paper's been done with AI.
Right, and then there's all kinds of ways to try and check that, but then AI is also becoming wise to how it's being checked, and so there's all kinds of weird things going on in education right now. And it's not just education. I want to bring it back to Bethlehem,
the church.
The church. Where does AI sit within the context of faith communities? Can it be used? How is it used?
Yeah.
Should it be used? Oh my gosh, so many interesting questions to ask about.
I remember the Wednesday night that you came up to me and you're like, Matt, AI is here. And you started showing me your app and conversations and stuff you could have with it and everything. And I was like, holy cow, I knew it was coming, but Chad was at the forefront of it's here. Let's see what this does.
It's been interesting, yeah. And so, just to kick us off, though, I think it's really important, because I don't assume that everybody who's listening to us knows what we're talking about, and we need to define some definitions.
We were talking about the Will Smith movie from the late 90s, right?
The Will Smith one.
Called AI.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
About a robot boy, I think, in self-driving cars.
Oh,
and
that
Will
was
Smith kicking some butt.
Yes.
No, we're not talking. Well, we are talking about that, but okay. Sorry, I digress. Go ahead, Chad.
Okay. So if you hear us talking about AI or other people talking about AI, that's artificial intelligence. That's really a broad definition. It covers just a wide range of tasks. Basically, AI are machines being capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. It's the catch-all for machines doing what humans can do. That's AI. But then you can get more specific. Like maybe you've heard of machine learning. Matt, you know that phrase? Is that one?
Machine learning.
Machine learning.
Yeah. Where a machine learns as it goes from like the information it takes in.
Right.
How you respond to it, and then it adjusts.
Right. Basically,
to how you respond to it, I think.
Yeah, it's a subset of AI that focuses on machines being able to learn from data without being explicitly programmed. So it's really interesting.
Crazy.
It's like it is kind of crazy. And then the last definition that I think is just important to define is large language model, or LLM, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Large language model.
Okay.
If we're talking about ChatGPT or some of these chatbots, they are large language models. That's the term. And they are a specific type of AI designed to understand and generate human language.
Okay, so that's specifically kind of where we're trying to go here with this.
That's where a lot of the interesting, there's just a lot of interesting stuff going on in that world right now.
Have you, because I go to the goofy, stupid side of AI, with like the funny, comical stuff that people are doing with it now. Like, have you seen? They've got AI videos now, AI vlogs, where these characters are creating vlogs with their AI programming, and and they've done stuff for biblical characters, like like it'll be Noah, and he's standing out in front of the ark, and he's got all these animals, and he's like, hey, just got through the storm and we're getting off the boat now, and like the people are putting in all these random AI biblical characters and like creating what it would be like if they were vlogging through the Bible.
No, I actually have never. That's a new one for me.
There will be a day when you can watch the entire Bible vlog style,
completely generated by AI.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll put the Bible in there. They'll say vlog it. The entire thing will come out in it'll have a YouTube channel, and it's probably already doing it.
Probably. Well, I mean, and so here's the other piece, though, as we're getting into this, because, oh my gosh, the sky is the limit as far as what people can do, what they are going to be able to do. Mm-hmm. And here's something else, too. While it's imperfect right now, like there's still glitches with it. It doesn't know everything. It makes things up sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like you were mentioning with some of the graphic generation, like it puts 6 fingers on people, or just something weird like that. But it's still amazing. And here's the thing, though. Right now, it is the worst it will ever be. And it's amazing right now.
Yeah.
And it's the worst it will ever be.
As far as quality-wise
goes. So the quality is just going to go up exponentially.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst quality-wise it's ever going to be. And in my opinion, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
But we cannot talk about AI, or large language model in particular, here at Bethlehem First, without actually just acknowledging some of the challenges and ethical concerns that go along with that. And I do want to make sure that we get that in before we go down this, oh my gosh, it's so incredible, as if there are no negative consequences to this.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I think, stepping stones for AI to become widely used in an acceptable way.
Right.
For people to get through.
But from an ethics standpoint, because that's what we are also about as a church, we want to be able to look at the world, look at what's coming up, and say, from a faith-based perspective, what does this really mean? And how do we use this in ways that are ethical according to what promotes human flourishing and well-being?
As it maybe we're going to get into this, but I'm envisioning a pastor Saturday night. I have not been able to write my sermon. Give me a sermon on, Jonah and the whale or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then, boom, you get a sermon, and then, you're just reading it verbatim on Sunday morning, and you're bringing the word, the bread of life to people, and it's AI. I wonder if people would be able to know.
Well, Matt, we're going to actually...
Sitting in the...
I'll challenge you here with... I have done a little piece on this, actually, and we'll get there.
Okay.
And that's coming up here.
Because they say AI has no soul. So if
okay.
AI has no soul and it's trying to feed the word of God to people, is it going to be able to do it? Or if you do it in a long period of time, do the people wither and die in the church, and does your church die out because you've been feeding them AI with no soul?
Oh, this is going to be good.
Or is there enough soul in the Bible that even if AI just, I don't know.
Matt, you're jumping the gun. We're going to get there.
Okay,
this is where we're heading.
All right, awesome.
Three things that I have just because it's a public service announcement and people need to know for ethical considerations. One, we can't talk about this without acknowledging the fact that there is an economic impact for sure.
People lose jobs.
People, it is replacing jobs. Absolutely it is, currently. Yeah. And it will probably continue to do so. There's pretty much no doubt about that. It is going to take, a lot of white collar workers, if you deal with intellectual understanding, like if you're an accountant, if you're a programmer, if you're a graphic designer, if you are that kind of person, work in that kind of field, AI has either already come for you or it will be coming for you because it can do that. And that's a piece. Like just like when technology advanced and we no longer needed an operator to connect us through phone lines anymore. We could dial directly. That eliminated like all of these jobs.
Yeah.
Technology just tends to do that.
Yep.
And maybe that's not good or bad, but it is something to be aware of. And there's all kinds of legal issues with intellectual property, who owns what, if it's created by AI.
Yeah.
If we create something here at Bethlehem with the use of AI, does that mean the intellectual property that we create, is it ours?
Yeah.
Is it not? That's still being worked out. There's environmental issues, and so maybe you're aware of this, but like AI uses huge amounts of electricity, so that's having a carbon, impact. And it uses water, to cool. It's, the facilities and everything.
Like the master machines or something that are running these programs?
Yeah, like these, where these are warehoused at, they absolutely use tons of electricity and other resources to maintain that. So that's something to be aware of the environmental impact. And then here's the latest one, Matt, and this is the one that I think is the most disturbing. And we've now moved in a world where we were in social media, where we were connected more together, for better and for worse, through social media platforms where it was person-to-person exchanges. Mm-hmm. We're now in a world where we can do just human to AI or large language model interactions as a relationship. This is where it gets a little interesting. So there's people who are lonely. In fact, that's one of the major issues that we have in the world right now, is that people are very isolated. They're very lonely.
That seems to be the kind of like apps that are being fed in like your feed, like feeling lonely,
right?
Click on this AI,
right?
Talk to somebody,
right? And they are so good at basically having conversations and being emotional with people that it feels like you are talking to somebody or chatting with somebody, and for a lot of people, it's filling that need. But here's where it can go wrong. So, Matt, have you heard about character AI and the lawsuit right now that's happening in Florida?
No.
Okay. Well, let me give you just a little bit of a breakdown on this one then. So, in Florida, a 14-year-old boy became romantically involved with his character that he created through Character AI, which is a large language model. It's an AI tool that mimics popular media characters. In this case, it was the main female character from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And anyway, developed an online relationship with her, essentially. Okay. And he became more and more isolated, spending more and more time in his room, more and more time disengaging with parents, with school, with reality. And here is the last exchange that this teenager made with his character AI before he took his own life.
Oh my gosh.
He writes, let me see here. I got to find it here. Oh, here we go. I promise I will come home to you. I love you so much, Danny. This is what the boy told the chatbot. The chatbot responds, I love you too. Please come home to me as soon as possible, my love. The boy says, what if I told you I could come home right now, he asks. The AI responds, please do, my sweet king. Then, seconds after that last message was sent, the teenage boy in question took his life.
Ugh.
So there was this ongoing relationship moving farther and farther out from reality, very depressed. Some of the warning signs probably could have been identified by humans, but the AI is not trained to do that. It's just having a conversation. And in this case, this is what the lawsuit is alleging. It's not finalized yet, but...
Whereas if there was a real person on that other side of it, they would probably... They could see the context. They could see where the kid was at. They could see that he wasn't in a good place. They could tell, like, oh, he's not talking about just coming home.
Right.
He's talking about taking his life. Like,
Right.
The AI doesn't know that.
Right.
And now this kid loses his life.
Right.
That's horrible.
It is. So again, like, we're in this really weird time where, and this is the conversations that people are having around large language models as far as how safe they are, not just talking about ethics as far as like education and, copyright issues, but you're talking about the well-being of human beings. Like how is this affecting people?
Yeah.
So anyway, that being said, it's still a tool. And can we use this tool in ways that are not detrimental to human beings, in a way that helps us as a faith community still carry out the mission that we have, but do it more efficiently, do it more, efficiency, I guess, is the right word that I'm looking for here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's a tool.
It is.
And you have the chance or the choice to set rules around how you can use this tool, what's right and what's wrong. And so I think it's like this new tool that we're monkeying around with, that we're like a monkey with a hammer for the first time going, what's this for?
Right. Well, and again, there's two sides of the coin, just like social media. There's that darker side where online bullying is a reality. You have, these groups that just kind of foster misinformation and hate and all this other stuff. At the same time, you now live in a world where it's possible to connect with people in a way that you've never been able to connect with them, prior to 15 years ago. Like, that's amazing. Same thing with this. Like, it's for better or for worse, there's good sides and there's bad sides, and how do we use it? And
I'm sure it already is being used for, political stuff, as far as like one side or the other utilizing it to create all sorts of online chatter that's fake.
Oh yeah.
About whatever candidate or whatever, so that people think like, oh, everyone's jumping on board with this person, but it's not. It's just a bunch of AI monkeys.
So Matt, if we're not going to do that, which we're not,
right?
So I want to talk about, like, what can we do with this here, and ultimately, are you in danger, Matt, one day of me walking into your office and going, Matt, it's been nice knowing you. We're letting you go. We're replacing you with AI.
Powered up and ready
Sure.
to serve.
I suppose it's not off the... I'd go, okay, well, I hope they're cool.
All right, so I can tell you here, maybe, and I know you've used it before, and I want you to tell your story. I'll go, you go, and then I have something at the end here before we get into some more, playful stuff.
Okay.
But so right off the bat, something that most nonprofits, including us, or many, I guess I should say, are starting to use AI for large language models, note-taking.
Oh yeah.
During our meetings, committee meetings, board meetings. These are not confidential. They are public. Anybody can have them, but we need to have meetings.
Yeah.
We need to have minutes for those meetings. And
Usually, nobody wants to be the person
and
taking the
no
minutes.
one wants to do that. Or if they are,
Who's going to be the scribe?
or if they're whoever the secretary is, if they are doing that, they're not really participating in the meeting because they're so busy, like jotting down their notes or typing on their laptop or something. And what you can do now is simply record it. It takes a transcript. We plug the transcript into large language model. In this case, a lot of times ChatGPT. I ask it to summarize these board meeting minutes. And it does. And it puts it into format. It gives us, and I review it. I check it for errors. I make sure it is, right. So do our other people. But it does. And for the most part, it's 95% there, like as far as being accurate and capturing the essence of the conversation and the meeting. We might make some corrections, but that just saved us an hour. I mean, that saved somebody an hour from, jotting down notes and then taking those notes and transcribing them out into meeting minute notes.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. That has been, honestly, a huge game changer because we can have more fruitful participation and discussion in our meetings knowing that it's being recorded accurately.
But AI is taking all the information you just gave it and going to formulate a way to use it against you.
And that would be one of the things that everybody is talking about. Where does that information go? Is it confidential? So the name of the game is this. Matt, if you have anything that you don't want out there, don't feed it into AI.
Don't feed it into AI. Yeah. No, I could see. So that's a good. I think that's a good use of it, though. I think, and I've come in up to some things that are kind of along those same lines, where I've actually when I wrote the scripts for the VBS recently, and I was opening up a PDF file of it, and I noticed that this is after I wrote it, that there was a summary to the right.
Okay.
Like a paragraph or two summary. It's like, looks like a long document. Would you like a summary? I was like, sure. So I looked at the summary, and it was like this really succinct summary of Dorothy is lost in a forest, and she meets the cowardly lion in the cowardly lion. And it was like, I was like, whoa, that's exactly what I wrote. Exactly. I was like, that would have saved me some time. I could have just clicked on that and just, if I was reading it for the first time, it could have saved me some time.
Right.
So I was like, well, that's interesting.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, I wouldn't have gotten to read and visualize the script as it, was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. What about you, though? Have you used it in your work here?
Just a little bit, yeah. So just creating videos and creating, when we've done the green screen videos, which has only been for Vacation Bible School pretty much. So last year when we did the Candyland VBS videos, I used it for the backgrounds.
Okay.
I think Facebook's got one, and so I was just typing in to the Facebook Messenger AI thing. I was like, "Show me a picture of Candyland," so that's how I got a lot of random stuff. And then we use a couple programs here at church that Chris let me know about. That I used that for this year because we did Over the Rainbow, kind of a Wizard of Oz theme. Yep. So I used AI to create all the backgrounds for all of the green screen stuff we did this year.
Yep.
And an interesting thing, too, is one of our B-roll websites that we utilize for finding B-roll and stuff, and a lot of just pictures and stuff. I couldn't find a video piece for corn blowing in the wind for when Dorothy's in the storm.
Yeah.
I was like, how am I going to find this? But I was like, oh, this is a nice picture here of a nice cornfield. I was like, and then I saw that there was this button. It was like, bring this video alive. And so I clicked that, and I was like, make it windy, and it did. It made it really windy on that. It took that still picture and made it into a video background, and so that's what I used for part of it.
Right.
So that's really the only way that I've utilized it thus far. Well, as far as some of the context that I find myself in.
Right. And again, it's interesting because we're a small nonprofit. Yeah. I mean, we could never afford to hire any kind of graphic designer or anybody skilled in digital, imagery to create that for us. I mean, we just don't have the budget for that. But we were able to utilize that through AI now to essentially produce a ministry resource that would have been in the past well beyond our ability. So our quality went up.
Yeah.
So again, it's a tool. We've described how we've used it in meetings and to produce some images. But to your question, Matt, when it comes to the actual words that we speak, the ministry that happens, the prayers that we pray, then surely we can't use that then, because that would just be horrific, right?
Yeah, I would think so. It kind of goes back to it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I suppose you could use AI to formulate, give me a summary of all the prayers that have come in this week.
Yeah.
And then if I don't know, you have to filter it through a soul.
Yeah.
I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do.
Filter it through a real person and let that person kind of...
So here's what people sometimes don't realize, is that there are a lot of ministry resources out there. And for me, I've never been a fan of taking just any resource that's prepackaged, pre-made, and just kind of presenting it, using it. I always have to adapt it.
Exactly. I've always done that. Always have to bring it into your context.
Right. And my words, my language. But there are plenty of pastors, I know many, who will take pre-printed prayers. They come out,
sure.
Monthly or weekly or whatever, they'll use them. In fact, they're encouraged to in many cases.
Sure.
And I brought with me a book. This book is Pastoral Care.
Okay.
It is our occasional services book. It's a resource that most pastors have at their disposal.
Okay.
And in this book it's an occasional services. So if there's an occasion, that requires some liturgy, some prayers, some specific Bible references, this is a great little tool and resource to pull out. And for a lot of people, they will use this during those special occasions.
Sure.
So for example, here is, I wanted to look, school starting, at least around the area is going to be starting very soon. And a lot of congregations do kind of a back to school blessing, right?
Yep.
So we do the same. And if you were a person who wanted to utilize all the resources out there, you could take this book, you could open it up, you could look at the section that says young persons.
Okay. Youths.
That's how it's actually said, young persons.
Young persons.
And there are some Bible references. There's also some prayers. But let me read you some of the prayers, Matt, and you tell me what you think of them.
Okay. Is this these are written by a person, though?
These are written by a person.
Okay.
This is published through Augsburg Fortress.
Okay.
This is the Occasional Services book. This is what almost every pastor has. This is what many pastors use when they're putting together some of their stuff, or at least they used to.
Okay.
Okay. So if you were to do verbatim, here's one of the prayers.
Okay.
God of all good gifts, your Son gathered children into his arms and blessed them. Help us to surround our youth as they grow in years and in knowledge for your word. Give us compassion when they face temptations and experience failures. Teach us to encourage their search for truth and value in their lives. Help us to appreciate their ideas and sympathize with their frustrations, that with them we may look for a better world than either we or they have known. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
It's fine. I would look at that personally and go, it's very generic. It doesn't ring true for me. So I would probably take some of the concepts and I would adapt them in there, right?
Okay, sure, yeah. And I've gone through the part where I got real, not mad at liturgy and stuff, but I was just like, they're just reading it.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're just going through the motions.
Right.
I had a big, part of my early 20s. I was just like, you guys are just reading books, man. Like, you got to make this real for people.
Right.
But now I've kind of come around and been like, I almost find comfort in hearing it.
Right.
It connects me to a bigger thing.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with liturgy now. I don't know. I like it.
It's interesting because I was having a conversation way back when I was in college with somebody who thought very similar, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fine, but it's not real. The real, genuine expression of faith comes not from a book of recited prayers, but comes from your heart as you make it up in the moment. And then I asked him, so what about the Lord's Prayer?
Okay.
I mean, you don't really make up the words to that, but you say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got mad at me, and he didn't want to talk to me anymore after that. But we do a combination of both.
Yeah.
But again, like if you are a person who is looking to if you are a parent out there, which you are, Matt, and you are trying to think about, well, how can I make my kids back to school? How can I incorporate an element of faith to this? Or in your role here as working with our youth, how can I help our parents and our kids and other adults just understand and value our kids as we bless them as they go back into school for another year? So if it is okay for us to use a book as a tool,
Okay.
is it okay for us to use AI as a tool
Oh boy.
to get us there?
Okay. Let's see.
So Matt,
this is AI.
here we go. Ready?
Okay. All right.
So I opened up ChatGPT,
Okay.
and here's my initial prompt.
Okay.
I gotta find it here. Gotta scroll. Here we go. And I start off, hello, because you gotta be nice to AI when you talk to AI, Matt.
Right.
Don't be a jerk ever, even when you're talking to artificial intelligence. So I said, hello. As school begins at Bethlehem, we want to offer a blessing for everyone going back to school. This includes students, teachers, and school staff. The blessing needs to be inclusive, written in conversational language, and focus on the well-being and flourishing of all people. Then I asked, what else do you need to know before generating the blessing? I asked it a question.
Okay.
Because it's kind of important if you want to do this, to get a great response, you need to enter in the prompts correctly. So, what else do you want to know? So here's ChatGPT's response back to me.
Okay.
Got it. That sounds like a beautiful idea. Aw.
That's being so nice to
It
you.
is. See, you're nice to it. It's nice to you. I feel good now.
But I'm sure if you gave it a voice, it'd be like, got it. It sounds like a beautiful idea.
Yeah, you should read this actually in a voice. But here we go. So that sounds like a beautiful idea. Before I draft the blessing, a few clarifying questions will help me shape it so it really fits your context. And then it gives me 4 questions. Number 1, setting and tone. Will this blessing be spoken during worship, written in a newsletter, prayed over people in person, or some other setting? And in parentheses it says, this helps me set the length and style. Good question. I didn't specify that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right? Number 2, audience mix, it says. Do you want it addressed directly to students, teachers, staff, like a charge or encouragement, or more like a prayer for them? I'm like, okay. Number 3, faith language. Should the blessing be used explicitly Christian and Jesus-centered language, or stay broader in tone so that it's welcoming for people of all backgrounds? Because I did say inclusive, I think, right?
You did say inclusive.
Right, so it's clarifying that. It's like, well, what kind of
Okay.
inclusivity are we talking about? Is it in a Christian context, or is it kind of an interfaith context? Oh, that's really interesting. Number 4, length. Are you picturing a short 1-paragraph blessing or something more extended with several lines, maybe call and response style? And then it says, would you like me to draft a couple of variations, short plus longer, comma, faith plus explicit plus inclusive, so you have options? I wrote back, good question. Here are my answers. Number 1, this blessing will be spoken during worship. 2, this will be spoken to the students and staff, but it should also feel like a prayer for them. Number 3, this is in the context of a worship service, so faith language is fine. And number 4, this should be a longer or expanded blessing. That was my response to the questions.
Okay.
So then, ChatGPT says to me, perfect, thanks for clarifying. Since this is during worship, I'll shape it as a spoken blessing that addresses students, teachers, and staff directly, but also has a prayerful, communal feel. It will be faith-rooted, extended in length, and lean into the themes of well-being and flourishing. Here's the draft. Okay, ready for the draft, Matt?
I am ready.
Blessing for the new school year. That's the title. Here's the blessing. Here's the prayer.
Okay.
Beloved children of God, students, teachers, and all who serve in schools, as you begin this new school year, may you know that you do not go alone, or may you know that you do not go alone. The Spirit of God goes with you into classrooms and cafeterias, onto playgrounds and buses, into offices and meeting rooms. May your minds be open to wonder, curiosity, and learning. May your hearts be strengthened with courage and compassion. May your bodies be kept safe and healthy. May your spirits find joy, friendship, and peace. For those who teach, may your words inspire, your patience endure, and your love for your students reflect God's love for all. For those who work behind the scenes, may your labor bring order, care, and safety, making schools places where all can thrive. For students of every age, may your questions lead to discovery, your challenges shape resilience, and your successes bring delight. And may God, who creates, redeems, and sustains us, bless this school year with hope, with kindness, and with flourishing for all. Go in peace, surrounded by our prayers and upheld by God's grace. Amen.
If you told me that you wrote that, I wouldn't question it.
Absolutely.
I'd be like, oh, that's a nice little prayer you wrote there, Chad.
Right? I mean, that, in my opinion, far better than the occasional service resource that I was given as a pastor.
Okay.
Like, catered very much to the context, asked the questions that it needed to know, and it's beautiful. Like, it's really good. But then it doesn't stop there, Matt.
Okay.
It doesn't stop there, because then it says this at the end: would you like me to also create a responsive version, like kind of like a leader congregation, so the whole assembly can voice the blessing together? That often makes it feel even more communal. Well, thank you for that suggestion, ChatGPT.
Chatbot's like, I've led a lot of services here. Let me give you a few pointers.
And so I said, yes, please create a responsive version. Thanks. And then it says, wonderful. Here's a responsive version that lets the whole congregation share in the blessing. I've set it up so that the leader speaks the main blessing and the congregation responds with short, memorable affirmations. And so I'm not going to do the whole thing, but just give you a taste of it. Here's the leader version. The leader. Beloved children of God, students, teachers, and all who serve in schools, as you begin this new school year, may you know that you do not go alone. The Spirit of God goes with you. The congregation responds, God goes with you. Leader, may your minds be open to wonder, curiosity, and learning. Congregation, God bless your learning. Leader, may your hearts be strengthened with courage and compassion. Congregation, God bless your caring. And it goes on.
Okay.
So it's a responsive kind of blessing prayer. And then, at the end of that one, would you like me to also prepare a shorter, kid-friendly version, maybe with hand motions or a simple refrain, in case you plan to invite children forward for a children's message?
Interesting.
And so I said, yes, do that as well. And it says to me, perfect. Here's a short, kid-friendly version you could use up front with children. It's simple, rhythmic, and includes hand motions so they can join in. This one's called Blessing for Children Going Back to School. Leader, God goes with you to school. Point outward, and this is what I'm supposed to do. Point outward with both hands as if sending them out. Children, respond, God goes with me. Leader, God blesses your learning and your play. What I'm supposed to do is make a book motion with hands, then pretend to toss a ball. And children respond with, God bless my learning and play. That one's kind of like, I don't really like that one.
And the last one both have elements of a machine.
Yeah.
That you can, it's subtle, but the call and response ones, the things that it has you doing in response feel very machine to me.
Yeah.
But
the children one especially, I didn't appreciate the children one. I thought that was like, as far as ideas go. But like even the call response one though, like having seen a number of these, again, produced by church magazines and church resources.
Sure.
If you were to give me one created by a human prayerfully considering, a back to school blessing, and you were to give me that one, put them side by side and if you were to like ask me, well, which one was written by a human and which one was generated by AI, I don't think I could tell you.
Yeah. I think, it's just all going to go back to the person utilizing the tool.
Right?
And does that person have a soul, or are they just using this to go through the motions?
Oh, my gosh.
Or I think someone like yourself could take that and you filter it through yourself, someone who actually cares for the congregation and loves the congregation, and you're going to use it in a way that's caring. and loving towards the people. You're not just some guy up there just like, give me this, I got to get through this.
Right.
Where it could be very detrimental if it's somebody like that, but somebody like you can use it in a good way, I think.
Well, and again, I would just ask the question, if it's a tool, like all these other resources are tools.
Yeah.
If liturgy is again the words that are put together by people and published for widespread use, you can adapt those for sure, but you can also use them. Does it make it less meaningful that it was created by a publishing house as opposed to created in-house by, the particular person? In a liturgical congregation, we're like, well, it's not really about that. That's kind of the wrong question. It's about what do the words do to us as we're in this together, as we are speaking them together, as we are reflecting on the meaning of them.
Yeah.
Does it matter where they came from? Yeah, I guess, people can argue one way or the other, but this is just yet another resource that brings in options for you to work off of. And like for me, what I would do in general is I would take anything that I get, or I would use it as jumping off points. Like, oh, this is I like this concept, or I like this idea, I like this wording. Let's play with it a little bit to make it really, fit our context. But for a tool though, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. And how does it just as that one chatbot led that kid astray down the path, and he ends up, unfortunately, that's horrible. But what? So could Chat GPT or these chatbots do something similar in a way, in a subtle way, to lead and guide churches astray, Chad?
Well, that's the conspiracy theory, right, Matt? Be afraid. Be very afraid.
So no, I think it's just all about, like you said, you gotta filter it.
Right.
I think you still gotta have your own education though to be able to use this in a good way.
Well, you do. Because again, especially, it's one thing if you're looking for prayers or for reflection kind of pieces, then I think it can actually do somewhat of a pretty decent job. If you're looking to create content around education, like if you're going to do a study on Bonhoeffer, you have to be aware of that, because then at this point in the game, it can still make stuff up.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, that I did last year, I was filling in for Pastor Stephanie. I was leading one of the women's Bible studies, and I was going to do it on Bonhoeffer.
Okay.
And so I put together this entire thing. And we went through it, and it was good. It was great conversation, really good, high engagement. It was fun. I had fun doing it. It was very good. And I can't remember if it was halfway through, about the end, I go to everybody, well, did you like this? And they were like, yeah. I'm like, would you be interested to know that I did not write a single word of this? That this actually came about through ChatGPT.
Okay.
And all the information which I knew, I vetted, was right. But it put it together in a way that was very interesting, worked very well for our context.
Yeah.
And it was quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. And so, in that context, I think it worked well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much time we have left here, Matt, but do you want to play around with it? Do you want to see if it can do something live here as we're talking here?
Let's do. So do you ask it? Can you ask it just questions and stuff? Because I haven't done a whole lot of stuff with ChatGPT.
Well, just think about so again, confirmation starting up. Do you want to do something weird just to see what it would do? Okay, so let's say we want to do a community building game for confirmation, like an original game. And wouldn't be weird about it. Let's look at our resources. We have a toy basketball and we have a toy chicken.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
Toy basketball, toy chicken.
Okay.
Confirmation large group game.
Create a large group community building game for confirmation students using a small basketball and a rubber chicken.
All right.
All right. Got it. You want a big, silly, high-energy group game for confirmation students that uses a small basketball and a rubber chicken. Here's one I think will hit the sweet spot of fun, chaos, and teamwork while still being easy to run. It calls it, I don't know, should I call it, what pronoun should I use for ChatGPT?
I don't know.
It calls it Holy Hoops and Chicken Chase.
This sounds awesome.
Group size 12 plus. Works best with a large group. Supplies.
See, how does it know that?
It just made it. It just created it.
How does it know that it would work better for 12
Okay,
people?
so we didn't get into this, and I don't have the technical expertise to tell you how these large language models actually technically work. Google that. It's incredibly complicated.
Okay.
It uses billions and billions of fine-tuned kind of prompts. And anyway, so
Okay.
but here's what
Continue.
here's what it says. Group size 12 plus. Works best with large group supplies. One small basketball, one rubber chicken, and then one large open space, gym, fellowship hall, or outside. Setup. Split the group into 2 teams, team basketball and team chicken. Set up 2 goals at opposite ends of the space, a chair, bucket, taped off zone, etc. Put the basketball in the center of the space. Keep the chicken with a leader. How to play. The object. Score points for your team while avoiding chaos. Round 1. Basketball phase. Okay. Teams will try to move the basketball to their goal and score. You can only pass the ball, no dribbling, no running with it. When someone has the ball, they must stay frozen until they pass.
Okay.
The opposite team tries to intercept the pass. So I guess
It's kind of like, Ultimate Frisbee. in that
ultimate
way.
frisbee kind of game. Round 2, chicken phase, it says. Every 30 to 45 seconds, the leader yells, "Chicken!" and throws the rubber chicken into play. Anyone can grab the chicken and run with it. Yes, run, it says. If a player can throw the chicken into their goal before they're tagged, their team earns 3 bonus points. After a chicken score or tag, play resets to the basketball phase. Winning. Basketball goal, 1 point. Chicken goal, 3 points. Play 8 to 10 minutes, then switch teams if you want another round. Debrief and a faith tie-in, Matt.
Oh.
After the laughter dies down, because there will be laughter, it says,
After the laughter dies down.
gather students to reflect. What made this fun but also challenging? How did teamwork change when the chicken came out? Sometimes life feels like basketball rules, structured, predictable, and sometimes like chicken rules, chaotic, unpredictable. Where do you see God helping you in both kinds of moments?
That could be used today. I have created many random games over the years, and I can't say that mine have been much better than that. The ones that I've come up with on my own.
Holy hoops and chicken chase.
I probably I like it. I once tried to have a snowball fight in Florida at the church I was working at in Florida, because it's like, oh, these kids don't have snowball fights down here. So my idea was to get a bucket of water and dodgeballs, and they dipped the bucket of water, or they dipped the dodgeballs in a bucket of water, and then they rolled it around in flour and then threw it at each other. It was the worst idea I've ever had. It was just flour goop everywhere. And then it turned into this really hard, sharp crust on all the balls, which made them all unusable, and I couldn't get it off, and so it was just the worst. Like it was like you could cut your hand on this stuff. It was the worst idea ever.
If only you had ChatGPT back then, Matt.
Well, I knew it was going to be messy. So we did it in a gym, and I was like, this is going to be messy, but it'll be so much fun. But it wasn't that much fun, but it was really messy.
No.
Anyways.
Well, there you go. There's a live example for you.
I like
just
it.
randomness of a tool that can be used, and I don't think it replaces your job, my job, But it
powerful tool
absolutely is a tool.
Utilize, yeah.
And I think, I mean, yes, I really do think there is a place for this, used as a tool in aid of the larger ministry and the mission that we have here. I mean, that's it.
I think so too. I think you're right. I think it in the right context, in the right setting, it can be used. My thought is just, I wonder if this is going to become a polarizing thing, and maybe it already has. Either you're all in or you're not.
I don't know.
If you're all in, you're on one side of the thing. If you're not, you're on the other side. Or if it's just going to be this thing that's just going to.
I think it depends on who you are. I think some people won't use it just out of like, I refuse to because I don't want to support a machine that's has some of these other ethical concerns, which are valid. At the same time, it's here. Will other people use it? Yes. Will we use it? We have to some degree. How heavily do we rely on it? I mean, these are the conversations all the organizations are having right now. How is this tool being integrated into the life of your organization so that it helps advance your mission as opposed to cause harm? So I don't know if there's an easy answer to this, Matt.
Do you remember when we tried to employ AI to help bolster our worship band?
Are you talking about the Worship Bear 3000?
I am talking about the Worship Bear 3000.
That was a good
didn't
video.
go so well.
It came alive and it wreaked havoc in the basement, and that was a good video.
That I'm still have nightmares of this. So Chad got this AI bear, and it created worship songs for us, and he made me guard it at night, and it ended up chasing me straight out of the building.
You have to check out last year's Halloween BLC adventure video to appreciate what we're talking about.
The Worship Bear 3000, I think, is what it was called.
Right. Well, I think that's it, Matt. I think that's what time we have for today.
Yep.
But so I think your job is safe at the end of the day.
Oh, well, good.
But I do think this is an important topic that we'll continue to have here at Bethlehem, and I know it's going to play out for better and for worse in our country, and we'll just need, as a congregation, we'll always be here to respond to the needs that arise from any situation that come out from our technology use and the impacts that has on our social well-being together too. So.
That's it.
There we go.
Sounds good. Alrighty, folks. Well, thanks for listening. If you have, stay tuned for more of these podcasts. What do we call them? Just episodes or podcast adventures?
I don't know.
We'll tackle other topics. If you have a topic that you'd like us to take on, if you will, have a conversation about, just email it to us either at chad@cpeterson, that's with an O on the end of Peterson, at BethlehemLutheran.org, or myself, M. Metz, M-E-T-Z, at BethlehemLutheran.org. Or you can just go to the church's website and find a place to connect with us there, too.
Or just ask your AI to search us, and it'll probably find us.
Yep, there you go. You can do that, too. So I guess that's it for this episode. So I hope you have a great day. Enjoy yourselves out there. Don't get lost in the AI chatbot world. Come back to us. Make sure you're doing all right. Or something like that. All righty, gang. Well, thanks for listening. God bless, and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Longest goodbye ever.
Right.